Hey guys, we're getting close to 100 episodes on the weekly comic pool. Um, Genuinely, thank you guys. This has been really fun. I've really been enjoying this. It's great to do this with one of my best friends. Um, and it's always nice that we get to talk about comics and people actually listen. Weirdly enough, even though we're just a bunch of rambling goons. But wanted to bring it back just to say that we're gonna be taking ourselves a little bit more seriously now. Going to be recommitting to the channel a little bit uh, and really just putting our best foot forward. We really want to represent the best that the comic industry has, and what a comic fan really should represent. Anyway, Elias, kick it off.
As always, guys, we appreciate you liking and subscribing and commenting below what stuff you guys want to pull this week. Uh, there's always so much good stuff to read, as you know. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Lucas, what is your first pick?
My first pick is going to be Incredible Hulk number 17. We are almost close to 800 issues in this run, which is crazy. From what I've heard, Philip Kennedy Johnson wants to do a 35 issue run, which makes sense. Like, I'm glad that he's thinking realistic goals. Like, okay, I know how many issues I want to do. He's not expecting to go as long as like Al Ewing with Immortal Hulk, but he's like, okay, I need 35 issues to tell the story that I want. And we're halfway through it almost about. Um, but I will say, man, this is such a great spiritual successor to Immortal Hulk. Literally covering stuff from Immortal Hulk that I honestly forgot. I completely forgot about the first Hulk. And
I
then
don't know
them,
why that didn't connect in my brain when they said that last issue. Like, this is the first Hulk. I'm like, oh yeah, I thought it was a brand new character, but no, it's literally just the Hulk
yeah, it's the
from
same design
from
too. I
from
even read
the
the
million
read the issue.
BC. Yeah,
I even
literally, it's that the caveman Hulk.
yeah. Such a great design, but I love that we get more of the Green Door, more of the One Below All. We got a lot more One Below All, especially in the last issue. And now we have a natural reason for why the eldest is now here, which is because in Immortal Hulk he closed the Green Door. So because he closed the Green Door, it cuts off his resurrection, but also cuts off the One Below All from reaching into our dimension and stopping the eldest from possessing the Hulk. Which the eldest basically needs the Hulk just to unlock the mother of horrors, basically. Really interesting idea that, like, yeah, even though we thought we solved the problem with the end of Immortal Hulk, it still has repercussions to affecting stuff on that cosmic scale. Man, it really sucks that this had to be in between the previous run, but I think also weirdly enough, I also appreciate it more because it was in between the previous run, because this really goes to show how to follow up an arc, especially a renowned arc like Immortal Hulk, renowned run.
hmm
Um, but this issue, we got Nick Klein back on those nice interiors, and we're gonna be dealing with skinwalkers, which is gonna be horrifying. But yeah, so we're gonna be dealing with skinwalkers and trying to get Charlie her body back in Las Vegas. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen because if we're about halfway through the arc, I can only imagine that stuff is going to escalate even more, and I don't think it's going to be for the better.
Yeah, that Legacy 800 really snuck up on me. That's crazy, but really
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, 800 issues of Hulk is wild to think about, even.
Yeah. But yeah, this past couple of issues was very informative and very important to build out and to recontextualize Hulk in this new era. Obviously, the horror is very important, but it's also important to acknowledge Immortal Hulk. Such a huge run. So yeah, I'm happy that they're doing that. I hope it continues to be that strong and continues to give that references and that kind of stuff. And I'm happy that Nick Klein will be hopping back on. I love him. I love his stuff, and I think he suits this book really well.
Yeah, especially the body horror aspect of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elias, what's your first pull?
My first pick is going to be the Deathlock 50th Anniversary Special, #1. This is celebrating 50 years of Deathlock, which is pretty cool. They've been doing these for different characters. Have mostly been calling them giant size, but this is not dissimilar. Deathlock is an obscure character who doesn't get a ton of love, so I'm always happy to see him get a little something.
Only one
Um,
live adaptation, and that's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
yeah, that's right. Um, we got a few writers, a few artists celebrating right here, and of course, Christopher Priest is a classic Marvel artist, having written for, or excuse me, writer having written for Black Panther and the like. So that's really fun to see him there. And then we got some other artists. Luke Ross is one that I definitely recognize. But yeah, this is going to just be a fun little celebration here. And I'm always down for some Deathlock. The first ongoing Deathlock run that I read was a different Deathlock. It was not Luther Manning, it was a new one. I'm curious to see if we'll see all the Deathlocks in history or what's going on. But yeah, this will be a fun little one shot.
Yeah, I've never read the first issue of Deathlock, so I don't know how he originally came to be, honestly. Um, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I got my, he's of the time. He's obviously uh, not dissimilar to RoboCop and all that kind of stuff. Military, military sanctioned human experimentation slash robot, infusion. But yeah, he was basically like betrayed by a friend and took a blast that he wouldn't have been able to survive unless he underwent this procedure. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, they've always had fun uses for him in the comics, and I've always had a soft spot for him. So yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, should be interesting.
All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Ice Cream Man number 41. 41 fucking issues of the series is crazy. Few indie series make it past the first 10, let alone 40 issues in, without even a sign of stopping, by the way. That's the bonkers thing. And the thing is, no backup artist. This has been one artist, the one writer and one artist the entire time. Absolutely insane. But this one is going to be a pastiche on James Bond, a who can you trust thriller, both shaken and stirred. Pretty fun. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I wonder what is going to be up because the last two were quite serious. I'm hoping this is more comedic, just to give us a little bit of a taste.
It looks that way.
Yeah. But also, this is a great way for me to segment it into the fact that this fucking series is getting a movie. That's bonkers. Like, holy fuck. And it's being written by the people that did Beetlejuice. So I'm hoping it's fucking good. Um, I totalized this. Hopefully it leads into a spinoff for like a TV show because this would be a great TV show.
Straight to a movie, yeah, is a little weird to me. I
I
don't
was also thinking that,
quite
but
get that. Just from a pure like testing the audience waters front. Like I'm not so concerned about how well it's going to be done. I'm just concerned about audiences not knowing it well enough to go to the theater. That's extra effort basically whenever a
yeah, that's
movie
true.
comes to a theater to put it in a theater versus just I can sit at home. What's this new thing on Netflix? Pop it on, kind of thing. So I mean, I hope fingers crossed it does well. But yeah, it's pretty crazy news.
But yeah, if Maxwell Prince is involved, I'm hoping that we don't get an explanation on the Ice Cream Man. I really hope we don't dive. We don't need to dive into the lore of the Ice Cream Man. I would like if it was almost like a Twilight Zone esque storytelling where it's like 3 or 4 different stories that just happen to feature that one character. That
Hmm.
to me is way more interesting, especially because man, we haven't had anthology horror films like good ones in forever, to be honest. And I honestly think after watching Kinds of Kindness, didn't really like that movie that much, but it really brought back, at least for me, attention wise, that like anthology stories are really interesting, anthology films especially, because you can pack so much in a short film, and then put three short films in one film. Anyway, Elias, what's next up for you?
My next poll will be Multiverses Collision Detected #1. Why would you not get this book if not just for the cover?
Yeah,
We got Dan Mora drawing Steven Universe and Bugs Bunny. But yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a little multiverses book. Seems like a lot of fun. We got a lot of really fun covers and variant covers. Finn and Jake in a comic for the first time in a while. It makes sense that they would be able to do this. I'm surprised it's taken them so long to do this in comic format because they've had multiverses out for years now. It's fun that they would do this, and I think they'll give you a little bit of lore from the pen and inks previews of the interiors that I saw. It looks really fun.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to cross this over. I can't wait to learn that Steven Universe is dark side level, and I can't wait for Garnet to somehow dodge the Omega beams, and for Tom and Jerry to actually be stronger than any of the new gods. It's really going to show that DC Universe should be taken very seriously. That's full of high level threats, and that every other cartoon character in Warner Bros. Catalog can easily one shot Superman and Batman combined.
It's going to be canon. Let's get it going, guys. Come on. Anyway, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Cal 1964, #2. I tried reading the first original Cal series, and I'm not gonna lie, the art was rough. The art was really rough. Love Kyle Higgins' writing, love that type of story, but the art was tough. This series already improved so much on that. The art is a lot more clear. They give you a lot more of an idea of what's happening each issue and what's happening in certain scenes. Um, but basically, the basic gist of this is that superheroes have a union that they sign up for, the Cal Union, and basically it works as a way to gauge crime and to send out specific heroes against specific villains. It's honestly really interesting. It's a really unique case of like going back in time and adding heroes, but then also making it realistic in the sense that we are now trying to unionize them so that they can get paid. And so that if they do get like hurt or injured on the job, there's like workers comp and such like that. It's really interesting. But this series basically picks up where the last series left off with the main guy, Jeffrey Warner, is basically caught for the murder that he committed in the last series. And now the expansion into New York and Los Angeles is now being halted because of his murder case. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. I'm really excited. We do know that this universe is not canon to Radiant Black, but it is a TV show slash movie in the Radiant Black universe, which is really funny. So yeah, isn't that it's like all types of weird. But this was also like one of Kyle Higgins' first series ever that he made for Image, if not the first series he ever made for Image. So yeah, you can tell he is really happy that he's back. Honestly,
Yeah, very cool. I've always heard about this series, Cowl, but I never knew what it was about. But yeah, Higgins and Rod Reese is a solid team. I'm used to seeing Rod on like Marvel covers and stuff. So
no, he's
uh,
great on the interiors, man.
yeah,
Honestly,
that's dope.
he cleans up a lot of the mistakes I had with the previous run. Um, yeah, the previous run was a little bit too rough for me. I tried sticking to it, and I couldn't get past like the third issue,
Yeah,
just because it was Rod improved a lot. Let me say that he improved a lot since 2014.
word.
But yeah, should be interesting. What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is going to be Wonder Woman #13. This is going to get us into hopefully the breakout on Gamora Island. I'm excited to get into this chapter of absolute power. I will say that the main event book has been kind of odd if you're not reading the tie-ins. Um, there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of happening without much explanation as I'm reading more and more. We only have one issue left at this point, but I'm not reading all the tie-ins, but
I
Wonder Woman
am.
is one of the ones that I am reading. So it's a little weird, what uh, little exposition there is. We're sort of just presented with, oh, Hal has an arsenal now, and oh, Wonder Woman knows where they're holding, people now. Like it's just a little weird in that way. But I hope this issue covers a lot of ground. They have a lot of ground to cover before this final issue, because that's going to launch us into the Absolute Universe. After this, I believe we'll be back to
Same here.
our routine Wonder Woman stuff, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm excited to dive into issue 13 here, see what characters we're going to interact with. It looks like we're going to get a pretty cool cast here just based on the cover alone. We got Booster Gold. We have Impulse, which is cool. So yeah, it'll be a fun little shot until Absolute Power is over.
Yeah, and apparently next issue is going to be the issue that Trinity's born. So, comic sellers, beware. uh, first appearance of Baby Trinity, $1,000,000,000.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've been reading all the tie-ins for Absolute Power. Man, I've been loving this event. This event is so fun for me. It's really rewarding for a lot of characters. Like every tie-in I've been reading the series of. That's also the thing. There's not that there is one actual tie-in that started or no, two tie-ins that started because of the series. Every other tie-in is actually individually tied into the run that they're correlating with. And I'm loving how seamless they're going into the stories slash like themes of each run. It doesn't feel like it's like deviating like an insane way from like the rest of the run, like in a way where it's like, oh, we're gonna stop the story right here just to tell. It's like no, this has been building up in the background. There's been stuff in the background happening, and this is the natural build up to that. Um, so I've been really enjoying it. Man, I'm really excited to see where this event is going to go because yeah, we got one more main issue, and then the Absolute Universe is born.
yeah, I'm very excited. All right, Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is John Constantine, or here. Let me do it properly. John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America, number 9. He made a whole point about it in the last issue that it's Constantine, not Constantine. Even got Etrigan to like reword the rhyme so that he literally made a comment. He's like it's Constantine, like fine, and then Etrigan was just like making puns about it the entire time. Um, Great issue though. It explained a lot of deep lore, like lore from like the first appearance of John Constantine. It explained how Swamp Thing was born, actually. So the idea is that John Constantine used a little bit of Dream Sand, the 1 or 2 grains that he got, to make Swamp Thing. Yeah, I know. Because he wanted a spirit that he could use in a certain case. Um, and so he used Dream Sand, and then he had his first appearance, and then he sacrificed his love, which was in Sandman. Um, but it's really interesting because we're getting a lot of those deep cuts, and then we're also getting like Etrigan just leading them on this like this way down into hell, and Constantine being like, fine, let Swamp Thing free because he got trapped in hell. Swamp Thing, um, for the quote unquote worst sin of all, being foolish and trusting Constantine, which I is like, wow, okay. But he allowed Constantine to Swamp Thing got free, and now Constantine is now going to experience hell for a week, and then he's going to be able to live for a week once more as breathing human. But this first week, he has to experience has to experience the worst hell of all, being homeless in Los Angeles. I shit you not. It's really that is wild. That's the hell that Etrigan chose for him, is like being homeless in Los Angeles. But yeah, if he can survive this week, he basically gets another week where he's alive and breathing. Um, Holy fuck, this series is wild, man.
Yeah, I am. I'm always just surprised when I open up the new previews book and I see another solicit for another issue of this. Like this has been, I guess, extended like several times at this point.
Well, issue
And
11's the end.
he, yeah, but I just mean like originally it was going to be what, like 6 issues, 5 issues,
I
whatever.
don't even know, man.
And
Honestly,
it's cool that he was able to extend it. But yeah, this is a beautiful book that is more so appreciated when you know all that Constantine like backstory.
yeah.
So it's definitely it's rewarding in that way.
Also, Sandman
But yeah,
stuff.
I'm
A
glad to
lot of
hear that. It's
Sandman
so
deep
cool.
cuts. A lot of good
Yep.
Sandman deep cuts too. I will say, issue 11's cover, fucking gas as fuck. I
Oh
don't know
yeah, I
if
mean
you've seen the
amazing
cover.
covers all around.
Yeah. But Aaron Campbell didn't do the art for the last 2 issues. So I'm excited to see him back
Yeah, he's back.
on the series for the foreseeable future. We had Lisandro Estrin do the art, who did the Sandman Dream Country
Okay.
series. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen now. Elias, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Avengers number 18. If you guys know anything about me, you know I love the Squadron Supreme.
There's only one
We got a very
Squadron Supreme
nice
fan. It's this motherfucker.
Hyperion. We got Hyperion on this cover right here. Really cool Joshua Cassara cover. But yeah, this is only the second issue in this new arc. Jed's research kicking back in, remembering the events of Heroes Reborn and Heroes Return. Following up on that event, and Hyperion is currently zooming towards Earth, planning to just fucking rip it in half. Which
Crazy,
is
crazy plan.
high stakes, really fast, which is cool. But yeah, I'm enjoying the Valerio Schiti interiors. I think that's fun.
So he's the reason that
Um,
Gods got canceled.
what,
JK.
Jed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just joking though.
And Sam just asked Storm to be in the Avengers. I'm assuming she says yes. But this is a fun matchup for sure. Definitely an unexpected Avengers arc that I'm glad that they are following up on. And yeah, this also says it's guest starring X-Men, which is interesting.
I mean, he's
If we'll
writing
see
it,
the
so
rest of them, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean, I
But I'm
would always
excited
be
to see
down for
Storm
more
in
of them.
action.
I would always be down for more of the Marvel universe, kind of interspersing randomly with the Avengers books. So
Yeah, I think it's important to contextualize the Avengers in the whole world because they shouldn't be the only people answering like the call when it comes to like world threatening things. And Hyperion literally like announced himself to the
yeah,
world with a broadcast. So yeah, they should definitely interact with other people and show the scale of the threat. But yeah, I'm excited to see Storm in action against Hyperion. I don't think they've ever fought before. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this issue.
so I will say, how do you think they're going to stop Hyperion from doing it? I have a theory. I'll say it real quick.
I'm
Juggernaut.
sure you do. Oh, okay.
Throw Juggernaut at him. You can't stop the Juggernaut. Like that is genuinely, I think, would be the quote unquote like easiest way to stop Hyperion, is to throw Juggernaut directly at him. So that like it just, I don't know if he would absorb the energy or like how that would work, but like it would be magic Sidorak type shit. Also, last issue was really good. Last issue was really fucking good. I loved how much Blood Hunt had like character repercussions for them. Like
hmm
I love that Carol was like, we can't let that type of thing happen. We have like an obligation to be the line of defense. And oh man, for me that was like such a, that for me was like, oh, that's what I want to see from Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? And I love her moment with Tony too,
Definitely.
because I completely forgot about her alcoholism too. and like Tony being her sponsor, and so like so many deep cuts that Jed does to stuff that I completely forget or didn't even know. But he works it seamlessly into the story to the point where I want to go and research and read those runs. Like, man, if there's one thing Jed is just like so good at, it's writing character dialogue for that specific character.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was very well done, and I was happy to see some fallout from Blood Hunt.
Yeah. Also, more tribulation. I completely forgot about tribulation events. And I was like, oh, Endless Night. That was a tribulation event. And then I had to like I literally went back to see what the tribulation events like what were if I remembered which ones were which. Let me just read them real quick because I came up with like a whole theory about like which each one means. So he said King of Magic, Death Moon, Cannibal Culture. So what I was thinking was King of Magic, obviously Doom. Death Moon was probably going to be Moon Knight related, like some Moon Knight event. And then Cannibal Culture, I was thinking it was going to be something X-Men related.
Are you saying these are the ones left?
These are the tribulation events left. We have
Oh,
three
left.
left.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense for Doom for sure.
Yeah. So King of Magic,
Death Moon?
Death Moon, yeah. Death Moon, and then Cannibal Culture.
I mean, yeah, he technically died and then
I
came
think
back.
it's still something
But
more.
that's
Like there's
weird.
going to be something that happens still.
Yeah.
Like Khonshu's going to revolt or something along those lines.
Right, right,
Or
right.
like Khonshu's going to resurrect all the Moon Knights and have them like wage war against the living world.
Yeah. But that's exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always happy when they follow up on promises like that. All right, Lucas, that brings us to your top pick of this week. Go ahead.
The Power Fantasy number 2. Have you ever thought, what if we took a realistic take on the X-Men and actually made it so that like US governments were like willing to nuke them just immediately in case? Well, here it is. So basically, this is just the X-Men universe but taken to the nth degree in reality. Um there's 6 specific characters that basically have abilities that are powerful enough to quote unquote end the world. And so they're at a like quote unquote stalemate with each other. And these powers kind of just do a balancing act, including the U.S. government and such. So like this issue, we got introduced to a bunch of characters. We got introduced to Eliza, Etienne, who is the main character, Etienne, Heavy, Magus, Masumi, and Santa Valentina. And the story, the first line in the entire fucking series is, of course, the ethical thing to do would be to take over the world. That's the first line of the book. Is just immediately like, and it's literally Etienne being like, we can either take over the world or everyone dies. Or we could do a balancing beam that could eventually fall apart. And they decide to do the balancing beam of like basically having each of the world governments think that they're in power, like think they have the upper hand on the mutants when the mutants still have like Etienne makes like he gives them psi blockers, but in this universe, Etienne is so powerful that the psi blockers aren't really more than like let's say like a piece of glass in front of like the brain. And Heavy, instead of being like Magneto, is just gravity manipulation straight up plus healing. Like he can just heal himself. Like he gets space lasered and he just heals himself. And before he's like straight up about to like take Texas off the map, like Etienne stops him and is like, okay, what do you want? Like as a compromise for them attacking you, like what do you want? And he's like, I want the president, I want everyone that just attacked me, I want all the people that know about that knew about the attack, and I want their family members. And Etienne's like, okay, got you on the first 3, I killed them all already. Family members, I'm gonna leave out of this. And it was like, what the fuck? like he just like this version of basically Professor X just straight up killed the president and the entire cabinet. And it was like, okay, well. And then Heavy was just like, okay, cool, we're all settled now. I already destroyed the space laser. We don't have to worry about that anymore. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? But yeah, no, it's wild. This series already is like, but I like that they're defining like very few people are that powerful. Most people can like literally they're like most people can like make butterflies appear or like have sparkly fingernails. Like most people do not have an insane power. Those six are the only ones that like genuinely stand out where it's like, oh, this guy can mind control. This person is a fucking weird alien angel from heaven. This person's a fucking like gravity he made a fucking black hole to lift up an island. Like crazy. Wild series. I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen because man, there's a lot it's a lot of setup though. It is a lot of information that they throw at you. The they don't expect you to pick up everything. I had to reread it like a couple times, like to certain pages to reread just because it was so much information. But man, crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a style to throw a lot at you in the first issue, just to get you excited, but also to show you that this is a hey, this is a whole universe that I'm creating right here in front of you, to just kind of get the immensity, of it really
Oh,
fast. So that's an interesting strat.
I didn't even talk about it. Casper Winchegard, bro, my guy went crazy on the art.
Yeah.
Motherfucker went insane. Motherfucker went insane. like,
I
like
imagine.
I was actually awestruck with the art. It was so crazy. When the fucking space laser just came out of the sky, I was like, what the fuck? That shit was wild, man. I'm not gonna lie. Crazy, absolutely bonkers. Had no right to go as hard as it did.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is just an excellent creative team. I'm glad to hear it's so strong. Glad to hear your raving review of it, and I hope it continues.
Anyway, Elias, what is your final pick?
My top pick for this week is Ultramega number 5. That's right. After 3 long years.
Imagine waiting 3 years for this story. Couldn't be me.
After
And
three
everyone just
years.
unsubscribed.
James Heron is back. Uh, with the way that issue 4 ended, I don't know how it took 3 years. I mean, maybe it just
I
didn't
would be
perform well
so
at once.
fucking pissed, bro. I would have been so
Dude,
fucking
yeah,
pissed.
that's
I would have been
crazy.
so. I would have been. You know how bad I was with like fucking Swamp Thing
Green
Green
Hell,
Hell.
yeah.
Like I would have been more livid than that for this, bro.
Pop the gasket. I mean, that's
No,
just nuts.
I literally would have gone to James Harren's house and been like, "Where's the next issue, motherfucker? Where is it?"
Yeah, when I had initially seen this book on the shelves, I thought it was Daniel Warren Johnson from the
I
covers,
also thought so. I'm not
um,
gonna lie.
but it's not. And just James Heron is both doing the art and the writing, and created this whole concept. He's a lover of the kaiju format, of Godzilla, of all those OG things. But this is um, first of all, fantastic art, just incredible art.
Yeah,
But secondly, a very interesting twist on that genre. I never know what's going to happen. No
literally.
one is safe. It's no holds barred. It's just the most like brutal version of what you know happens when people have these kind of powers, and you're just dealing with this scale, uh, you know, figuratively and literally of this power. So, yeah, really intense. Definitely throws a lot at you in the first issue. These issues are huge. They're large issues, and but yeah, I'm just super excited to continue getting lore here. That initial character, Adam, really does feel, or like Atum, however you're supposed to say it, really does feel like a Kirby homage. There are definitely some characters in here that definitely feel like classic comic character homages. But yeah, this has just been a blast, and I'm super super excited to read more and see how Jason's head was just alive that whole time in space, just sitting there, which is completely nuts. But yeah,
How
this
is he
is
gonna?
just a blast.
How is he gonna stay alive for more than like a couple seconds coming down? What the fuck?
I don't know. I think there's what I love is that even with 4 massive issues, they've covered a lot of ground just as far as like timeline is concerned. Like
Oh
they've covered
yeah.
so many years that now they can hopefully, now that the initial volume is over, they can go back and explain and explore the Ultra Mega powers more, because obviously there's so much power to learn about. Just from like Ern finding this new form right away, having all these other abilities because he went and he spent time to hone these powers. So yeah, man, it's just a really really fun book. Definitely recommend it. Uh, Image just once again pumping out amazing stuff, letting creators do their things, and yeah, can't recommend this enough.
I was not expecting that. That first issue was so crazy because every time I thought I get what the story is going to be, it was just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
it.
no,
Was not it at all. Like the first like couple pages, like okay, so cool. So we're getting a realistic take on like a kaiju of the week type story. Nope. Okay, so we're having him fight his son. It's going to be a build up for the entire series for him to fight. Nope. Oh, he's dead. Okay.
yeah.
So we're gonna see his son grow
Oh,
up
his
with
wife's
his
dead
mom.
now too, and
Oh, yep. Okay. So his son is probably going to know that he's old. No. Okay. So his son is probably going to like build a resistance. No. Okay. Um,
yeah,
oh, he
literally,
got he got like his ribs ripped out. Shit.
yeah.
Damn. I hope he doesn't die.
No, it's
But
it's completely insane. It's
it's
completely
like
insane.
every time I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Um, but I really do wonder. Two things. Um, when he's in Ultra Mega form and he comes out, he doesn't heal, from what I understand. Right? That's like the basic gist of it. So like his leg is still fucked, even
Um,
when he's in human form.
did they show that? Well,
I read that so fast I didn't even pay attention to
no,
the date.
because I don't. I think he will be healed because from what I recall, like the in issue one, like that initial fight with Jason, um, like the creature, like I think bit like his arm or something, and he didn't have any arm contusions when he transformed back to
Yeah,
human.
just when he went back to normal,
I think the Ultra Mega transformation will
like
rectify
reset.
all that stuff, but clearly at a cost because Jason was like, "Did you bond with it?" And like it was a problem. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
there's
I love
so
how
much.
fucked up his Ultra Mega is, like the eye symbol wise. Like you can tell it's like,
Yeah,
oh. And also, I love that the little eye guy is just like absolutely insane.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so
It's like I
fun.
need a warrior.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is completely nuts. Yes, a lot happens in just 4 issues. It's completely insane.
God,
Um,
imagine waiting 3 years for issue 5. Ha! Couldn't be me. Ha!
but I mean, yeah, I've always seen this on the shelf. I've always been really interested in what it was, so I wanted to take the time to read it, and I couldn't be more excited. Definitely going to track these down in physical. I definitely need that. But yeah, I can't wait for them to continue with this universe. Maybe it either took him a while to work on it, or it just was not super popular right away. So um, I'm
James
really
Aaron, if you don't
excited
release the
to
next
to get
fucking
more
issue
stuff.
after this releases, I'm coming after you. Just to let you know. You're not allowed to escape anymore.
It says it's going to be a monthly release after this, so I hope so.
Yeah. Also,
These covers
I ain't
are
gonna
beautiful.
lie, the world's kind of better without the Ultra Mega because then the monsters don't get big.
Yeah,
That's like
it's
what I understand. So like, it's
well the
actually better for the Ultra Mega not to exist because the monsters still exist, but they don't become huge.
Atom no obviously no longer can do this, but I thought he was gifting like way more people the ultra mega powers. Like I thought he was visiting way more people. Um, it's said in the first issue that there were more people that we didn't know about. Hopefully they do show up.
Mm.
But yeah, at the time being, we know that it was just the three of them, and now Noah. So I don't know how they're gonna continue to ward off kaiju's because it seems like kaiju's are still popping up every day, but ultra megas are not.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a true disadvantage.
Also, he shot off his arm. Yeah, wait, he lost his fucking hand too.
Noah?
Yeah, Noah lost his fucking
Well,
hand.
he launched it, which was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I think that's
But
just a
like when he went
power.
back, well, no, when he went back to human form though, he didn't have his hand. I like made a mental note of that.
You're right. I just mean like he, like
Yeah,
instead of a monster like cutting it off or something, he like
yeah.
launched it, which I thought was weird. Like I guess that's a power that he has or
Still
something.
wild that didn't that it like went to him though, like that like damage.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
they definitely have a little more to explain with that, like what stays and what doesn't stay. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
what
there's
constitutes
definitely
as damage versus like just using a power?
right, but yeah, super interesting universe. Really excited to get back into it. Um, Hope it continues for a while. And yeah, very exciting. Image
God,
return.
the wife dying from blood clotting is
Yeah,
crazy. Sorry,
fucking
every
nuts.
time I just think about this series, it's just like
No, dude,
every
there's so much, so much to
like
unpack.
that first talking about in my opinion, what a great first issue
Mm,
because every turn just not the thing you were expecting.
yeah, yeah.
And like there was like 5 setups that would have been a great book. That's the funny thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 5 setups in there that you could have easily made the book entirely about.
Yep,
And motherfucker was like, nah.
yep. So yeah, I can't recommend this enough to image fans, to just fans of higher art, and just fans of indie books. Just not your typical story, basically. If you're looking for something just a little off the beaten path, this is just so much fun. And yeah, I cannot wait to read this next issue.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the Cosmic Panel, to the weekly polls. We're getting close to episode 100. Remember to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, and read comics. And we will see you guys